So guys, before we get started, don't forget we do have that amazing discount code thanks to Tier 0 Games going on right now. And all you have to do is put in ZW Games 5 to get 5% discount on your total order at tier0games.com. The links will be in the description below.
What's up YouTube, Dow here from Z4 Games, bringing you an update to Synchros. Now, Synchros got some nice new support in Legendary Duelist, Magical Eyes, or Magical Heroes. And I am going to show you an updated Synchro version with those new cards, including, of course, Junk Converter and Satellite Warrior, not to mention the other two brand new cards that we received as well. So, without further ado, I'm going to take you through the profile, show you exactly what we've got, and explain why we've got it. Let's move the exit over there for you. Okay, so we start off with 3 of the brand new Junk Converter. Now, some of the ratios will change once we get needle fiber. You'll be putting in stuff like lefty and righty driver, just to kind of help get you to needle fiber, especially in this deck that has a lot of tuners. Needle fiber is incredibly powerful and incredibly useful. So, Junk Converter, you can discard this card and 1 tuner, add 1 Synchro monster from your deck to your hand. If this card is sent to the graveyard as Synchro material, target 1 tuner in your graveyard, special summon it in defense position, but it cannot activate its effects at this turn. Only use each effect once per turn. So the idea is less so the discard to search, unless you absolutely have to, and unless you're putting something in grave that you really need. It's more going to be the fact that if it's used for Synchro Summon, it will then get an additional effect or special summon back a tuner, and let you kind of Synchro climb from there. The best thing about this, or the weirdest thing as well, is it is a warrior. So from the look of the card, you'd go, oh, that's a machine. It's not, it's actually a warrior, and it's a very good addition to the Synchro deck. We then play triple Doppel Warrior. This card is insane for Synchros. It is pretty much, not an old card, but because it's got slightly old text, it's not a hard once per turn. And then when a monster or monsters is special summoned from the graveyard, except during a damage step, and it is a win effect, so you've got to be very careful on that. You can special summon this card from your hand. If this card is sent to the graveyard as Synchro material, you can special summon 2 Doppel tokens in a tap position. So obviously it gives you additional fodder and it includes himself. So you just get rid of him, Synchro away, and you start climbing up your board using tokens as well. We then play double Junk Forward. This is just a free warrior summon. And then we've got double Quick Draw. Now we all know what Quick Draw Synchron can do. This one is a machine, it's not a warrior, but it's still very helpful, and it is one of your tuners. Double Jet Synchron, purely because in this deck, you know, playing 2 of the Jet Synchron is actually very useful, powerful, and can actually get you going. Just being able to either special summon it via its own effect, or special summon it off of other effects to keep bringing it back, giving you additional tunage to kind of Synchro climb higher. We've then got double Junk Synchron. Everyone should know what Junk Synchron does by now. And then we've got double of the brand new card, and that is Satellite Synchron. Again, this card is very cool for the deck. If a monster or monsters is special summoned from the graveyard except during dash step, so this is an if effect, not a when effect, you can special summon this card from your hand. If you have a Synchro monster with Warrior, Synchro, or Stardust in its original name on the field or graveyard, you can make this card's level become 4 until the end of the turn. Only use each effect once per turn. So this one, unlike Doppel Warrior, is a hard once per turn. But you would probably use Doppel Warrior first, continue to Synchro climb, and then off you go from there. We then play a couple of one-offs. We do play the 1 Destrudo. I mean, it's a Synchro deck. Destrudo is going to be massively helpful for all of that, as long as you're using his effect to target a non-tuner, and then you're going straight into its level 7 Synchro, or a different level what you need. You've then got a Beckoned by the World Chalice. Now this one I'll actually explain as we go further around, but it is a free level 4 summon. You can play the level 3 or the level 2 if you want to, but the 4 is just the number that you kind of need right now in the deck. Then we do play the 1 Glart Bulb. If you want to, I don't play it in the extra deck right now, but you could play Nat Beast technically because of these 2 cards. It's very specific, which is why we don't, but it can be very useful. We then play triple of the brand new Synchro Chase. Now I really like this card. It's a continuous spell, really kind of cool. So your opponent cannot activate cards or effects in response to the effect activation of your Synchro monsters with Warrior, Synchron, or Stardust in their original names. If you Synchro summon a Warrior, Synchron, or Stardust Synchro monster, you can target 1 monster in your graveyard used as its material and special summon it in defense position. Only use each effect once per turn. Now the best thing about this, little preview of the extra deck, I love the fact that we can play this guy here. So you can actually protect Stardust Chronicle Spark Dragon, and if you've got this in play, they can't respond to it, so they can't stop that, and then you're going to revive what's been used for it as well, or you can revive what's been used for it as well. Trill Call by the Grave. Now, there's not a huge amount. I mean, like, look, your biggest threat is going to be Ash right now. DD Crow maybe if people start siding it in for you. But there's not a lot that you're heavily searching, but there is quite a bit that you're trying to send, especially with your Synchro kind of rotor of the deck, and that is tuning. So you add a Synchro tuner from your deck to your hand, and then send the top card of your deck to the graveyard. And so you kind of don't want this getting Ash, because if you're going to be using it, you're going to be searching out a specific piece that you need. We've then, of course, got a couple of one-offs. So you got the one Foolish Burial, the one Monster Reborn, the one World Legacy Succession. Now, obviously, all of these are kind of straightforward and simple, in that you want to be able to bring cards back from the grave as and when you please. Monster Reborn, pretty much anything you need to get you going is very, very useful as well. Oh, sorry, there we go. We've then got another Reinforcement of the Army. You just want to be able to search as much as you possibly can. And then we play 3 equipped spells. You do play a Sold. So you've got the Overdone Burial, your DDR. Now, this technically should be Living Fossil. I can't find my Living Fossil, but it's a little bit better than Divine Sword, Phoenix Blade. You can use Phoenix Blade if you want to, should you be using discard effects, but very rarely you actually are. But yeah, like I said, this one would possibly be Living Fossil. You've just got to be able to, well, I've got to be able to find my copies. We then play the one for one. The one Phantom Knights of Shade Brigadine. Again, it's level 4 when it's used. It's very rarely you're going to have a trap in the graveyard, so it's always technically live. It can help you go into a Zold, and it could also be used as fodder to go into a Synchro summon. And then finally, the brand new card, I love this card as well, Scrap Iron Signal. This card is so cool. So it's a counter trap, and when your opponent activates a monster effect while you control a Synchro monster, that lists a Synchro monster as its material, negate the activation, and after that, set this card face down on the field. You can only use this once per turn, instead of sending it to the graveyard. So basically just a counter trap that can negate monster effects, that can constantly continue to set itself, which is really, really cool. And then finally, now this one, I'll explain later, this one's more about the side. Now these can easily come out for anything you want. You can put Ash Blossoms in here, you could put in Imperms. These are something more for the side deck right now, and that is double Instant Fusion. Now Instant Fusion, again, will become more relevant when we get Needle Fiber, but for now, in a deck like this, what I'm using it for is I'm using it to side in a Thessalos, or I'm using it to side in a Thousand Eyes, or a Millennium Eyes as well. Now you can main them, and again I will show you what you would change in your extra deck as well, just so you can main the Instant Fusions. It's just something a little bit different to either stop yourself being hand trapped with Millennium Eyes, a go second card to steal your opponent's card and then move from there, or it will then be a Thessalos, which is a level 5 free summon of a tuner. So again, that can just help you Synchro climb as well. Oh, nudge the camera. Right, now onto the extra deck. So onto the extra deck, we only play 2 Link monsters at the moment, and that is the one Saruja Skuldred, because you can just flood your board with a lot of monsters, and then the one is Zold. Now Zold, of course, like I said, surprisingly, most of your cards are actually warriors, not machines. So being able to kind of go into a Zold, send the equips first, special summon more from your deck, and then the cards you're special summoning from your deck could then trigger additional effects to help extend your board as well. Now it is a Synchro deck, so we do play a crud ton of Synchros. Now we play the one Celestial Double Star Shaman. This card is insanely good. You could play Formula Synchron if you wanted to. I just had to cut some space down to fit in more Synchros, and I've gone more nostalgia with the extra deck than practicalities, and I'll explain what can be changed as well. Then got the one Material Metal Macho. This card's insanely cool as well for the deck. I showed you the combo with Junk Speeder. That is more relevant in Master 5, but right now, this is kind of the way the deck can roll. Now, Formula Synchron is your other option. This is something that I said, or I would say, can be taken out or swapped around for a Thousand Eyes, Millennium Eyes, or a Thessalos, should you want to. Probably right now, because I am maining the Infusion, that should be a Thessalos. It's mainly because it's effect to Synchro during your opponent's turn, but the draw effect is kind of cool as well. We then play double TG Hyper Librarian. It's a synchro deck. You want to draw, and draw again. Another little tech that I will mention that I did see in an OCG profile, which I think is really, really cool, is they use TGs. So they use TG Warwolf and TG Striker. Now, Warwolf is really cool because it's just if a monster is special summoned from the hand, sorry, not special summon from the hand, just special summon in general, you get to dump special summon it to the field. So again, TG Warwolf is another option that you can put in instead of your instant fusions, just to give you a bit more additional extension. And the TG Striker is purely there for you to go second, and it's a free special summon of a level 2 tuner. We then play the 1 Axel Synchron. We then play the 1 Ib, the World Chalice Justica. Yes! So of course you go Ib. Ib will then be able to special summon out your Beckoned by the World Chalice. It will also allow you to search out your spell card as well, your World Legacy Succession. So the idea is you'd synchro summon Ib, you would then use Ibs to synchro summon, you get to add the World Legacy spell card, you then play the World Legacy spell card, bring it back. This is a tuner, you would then sync climb higher, that will then go from there. Now the one thing this deck doesn't have right now is you do need a couple of more link monsters, in the sense that you need to open up more zones. The kind of technique behind this deck at the moment is you would go into Isolde and then start reviving your stuff from the graveyard, build up your synchro monsters from there, then use those synchro monsters as like fodder to synchro climb higher, end your board on your boss monsters, and then start reviving the lower levels back from your graveyard as well. So that's where it gets very, very important. We then play the 1 Shooting Riser. This, of course, is being able to synchro or quick play synchro during your opponent's turn as well. And then for a nostalgia choice, this can easily be a Crystal Wing, but I went nostalgia because I wanted to play Stardust. Don't have to play Stardust. Like I said, it's a nostalgia feeling rather than an actual practicality, and Stardust can easily be a Crystal Wing. I've got the 1 Savage Dragon, and then the 1 Stardust Chronicle Spark. Love this card, so cool. So it was a promo in Circuit Breaker, I believe, special editions. So it must be synchro summoned once per turn. Quick effect, you can banish 1 synchro monster from your graveyard. This card is unaffected by other card effects for the rest of the turn. If this card in its owner's possession is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, by battle or card effect, you entire 1 of your banished dragon synchro monsters special summon it. So the idea is you'll be banishing your Savage or your Stardust, or any of your other kind of dragon cards that you can play around with. And then we've got, of course, the brand new Satellite Warrior. Love this card as well. So cool. 1 tuner plus 1 or more non-tuner synchro monsters. If this card is synchro summoned, you can target cards your opponent controls up to the number of synchro monsters in your graveyard. Destroy them, and if you do, this card gains 1,000 attack for each card destroyed. If this synchro summon card is destroyed, you can special summon up to 3 level 8 or lower Warrior, Synchro, or Stardust monsters, synchro monsters with different names from your graveyard. Only use the effect once per turn. Now it's a shame it targets and it's a shame it destroys. It should either do one or the other. It should either do like non-target destroy, or it should target and send. Just because the current meta, the way everything protects itself kind of from destruction, and pretty much stuff doesn't like being targeted. But it's still an incredibly powerful boss monster, and it's very nice to have in the game. And like I said, this is where the Synchro Climb comes into it, because once you get to him, you've hopefully got more Synchros in your graveyard, and you can just go, cool, target, destroy. The best thing is it is cards your opponent controls and not monsters, so it doesn't lock you into anything in particular as well. And then finally, the other boss monster is your Cosmic Blazar Dragon. No kind of synchro deck is complete without having 1 entire boss monster. Now, of course, this could be Quasar, should you want to. I just really like Cosmic Blazar. I've tried to keep it Stardust themed, again, just for nostalgia, but it's still a very fun deck to play around with. And especially when we go back to Master Rule 5, it's going to be very fun. So I do advise you guys, while people are hunting the Magician's Souls and the Heroes, to go and pick up your all the synchro cards, because I mean there was 2 ultras and 2 supers and a rare. So I definitely advise you going to go pick these up while you can, because these will be the ones that not many people are actually super hyped for or super fussed about. So they won't have the ridiculous like £20 to £60 price tags that the other 2 do have. So definitely grab those while you can. Anyway, hope this helps, hope you enjoyed it, hope this gave you an idea on your own build. I have changed it up a little bit and move it around, and I will continue to do so as we go forward because I love this deck. It's very, very fun, and I can't wait for the new Master Rule to come into action to use and abuse this deck as well. But for now, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and until next time, guys, as always, happy dueling.